Welcome back, everyone. It's Jurgen Jays here. We are continuing our playthrough, read-through, whatever through of Fate Stay Night Remastered. We were just discussing with Archer about some... what's it called? Bounded Field. Yeah, that thing. I'm just talking with him about that apparently being laid down at our school, and when it's activated, it will kill everyone. Not kill. Disable? Maybe that's a better word for it. Kind of incapacitate everybody at the school, except for me, and then we're about to find out the reason that's gonna happen. Alright? It's a thought I can't stomach. What is it? After checking all around campus, I finished my search on the roof. It's thoroughly dark outside now. School gates shut at 6 p.m., and it's now 8 p.m. Archer and I are the only ones left, and Archer's in his spirit form. That makes the 7th one. Looks like this is the origin point. There are 8 symbols boldly drawn on the rooftop. They're purplish red marks that would be called magenta, marks that only a mage can see. I've never seen or heard of sigils like these. Well, they've got me there. I don't know what to do about this. Whoever set up this bounded field did it recklessly. But while imprudent, the magical working itself is an order of magnitude beyond my own skills. So I'm not the strongest master in this whole shebang. That could be an issue. I could temporarily erase the energy of the curse, but I have no way to dispel the bounded field itself. All the spellcaster needs to do is supply it with more energy to reactivate the curse's effects. So it's like a seal that we could sap the power out of, but the power could be easily refilled, where I just actually need to tear up the seal. Archer doesn't comment. He's probably remained silent since encountering the rooftop sigils. Since encountering the rooftop sigils, because he too has realized their nature. The bounded field does more than drain its victim's stamina. It will literally melt everyone inside once it's turned on. Oh joy! Sign me up for the Holocaust furnace. Love that. There are bounded fields which rob victims of their life force and spiritual energy. But the spell that's been applied to the school grounds is on a whole different level. This is no less than a soul eater, a blood fort, which melts the human bodies inside and forcibly collects the souls that ooze out. Ooh. So will that make the initial caster stronger for the gathering of said souls? Since antiquity, souls have always been difficult to handle. They're theorized to exist and are considered to be necessary components of magecraft, but only one mage has ever proven their existence. Our definition of souls stops at that which examines within and that which is transferred between vessels. To not only extract souls, but then capture them in one place, it defies comprehension. What's a mage supposed to do with a bunch of energy we can't even convert? Could you just like set off, not convert the energy, but can you like set off the energy almost like a bomb? Like if you just have a bunch of gunpowder and you just lit all of it, it would still go kablooey. Maybe not in a particular direction, but still go kabloo. So if I had to think of a purpose for it. Archer. Archer? Is that what you and your kind are? It comes out colder than I intended. You surmised correctly. I did say that we are fundamentally spiritual beings. That means we feed on the second and third factors, the soul and the mind. I'm not following. Just as you sustain yourselves with the flesh of creatures, we servants derive nutrition from the mind and soul. Oh, so the caster, like the master, wouldn't be able to convert the energy, but the servant would be able to like eat the energy. So it wouldn't make the caster more powerful. It would make the summon though a lot more powerful. While said nutrition doesn't change our base abilities, acquiring more of it does make us more durable. It increases our reserve of magical energy, in other words. There you go. He's right. The way to make your own servant stronger is to indiscriminately attack human beings. So, your own master's magical energy isn't enough? It's sufficient, but it never hurts to have more. In war, some weaknesses can be compensated with material when one is lacking in fighting strength. It's a basic strategy for a master to take energy from the humans around them. In that sense, this bounded field is an efficient tactic. I guess a school is one of the most highly densely populated areas of it. Well, no, I feel like you could do like a really big office building and like the Shinto side of things would have the same effect. So why the school? Why school specifically? Archer's saying that I should murder people and take their power if I want to win. It's so simple. I've always known this to be true, and I know it's the path I'm supposed to walk. That really teased me off. Don't ever bring it up again, Archer. Staring at the sigils, I make my stance clear. Oddly, Archer sounds just as put off. Okay, so, like I said, he's a nice guy. He's just a chill guy. I agree. I'd never do such a thing. Keep on forgetting to do his voice. His answer comes firm and resolute. Time to erase this then. It won't do much good, but it can at least slow it down. I approach the sigil and extend my left hand. The magic crest engraved on my arm is like a grimoire passed down through the Tohsaka line. A mental switch is flicked. I pass magical energy through the magic crest, load a verse of bounded field erasure, take a deep breath, and activate it. Abzug Bedunung Bittelstan. Why did I decide to do it with a Japanese accent? They definitely sound more German. Erase. Surgical removal. Verse 2. I then send a pulse of magical energy via my left hand. That should wash away the sigil for now. What? You're gonna erase it? What a waste! Suddenly, a third voice chimes in while I'm casting the spell. I'll change my voice if I need to, if I see a character that doesn't fit it. I whirl around. What? Oh, hello. You are definitely a summon. There is no way you are not a summon. A man is perched on top of the water tower, some 10 meters above, looking down on me. He's clad in a deep blue that blends into the night. He's a ninja. His mouth is drawn into a grin, and he has a bestial air about him. He's ready to give a howl's awoo. He's a true alpha. The beast's gaze is sharp and clear. In this bizarre situation, the man in blue watches me as if he's greeting a friend he hasn't seen in a decade. Did you do this? Nah. It's a maid's job to play little tricks. We just fight whomever we're ordered to, isn't that right, mate? I can't decide what voice I want to do for him. He said mate. What if I just go Australian? His tone, and he's bestial. He's down under. I will do my horrible Australian accent. The man can see Archer. You're a servant. That I am. And if you know that, lass, you must be my enemy. My spine tenses. The man's voice is detached and nonchalant, but it's colder than anyone I've ever heard. It's so scary, it's nauseating. What's the best move here? I don't know. Archer, attack! I choose you! But what's it called? Oh no, I can't think of a move name for Archer. Whatever, joke's dead. Let's move on. But my brain is still working enough to tell me that I absolutely must not fight him. Oh, I'm impressed. Here I was thinking you don't know heads from tail. Why am I going Irish all of a sudden? Australian. What's Australian? Good day, mate. But you figured out what really counts? I blew that. Shouldn't have gone out of my way to taunt you. The man raises an arm. I'm still going Scottish. I'm so sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to do an accent. It appears in a flash. His once empty hand now holds a big old javelin, big old spear. Gonna shove that up in your guts. A scarlet, 2-meter long weapon, aka a spear. Is there a class called a Lancer? Ha! My legs throw me to the side before I can think. There isn't time to even hesitate about jumping off the roof. With all my might, I make a mad dash for the fence, intending to barrel right through it. Whoa! A cyclone lifts my hair into the air. It was by the skin of my teeth. In that instant, something slices through the space. I was just then tearing the fence apart with it. Oh, I don't want to say that, but oh, right. Again, I keep on losing the... Good day, mate. Oh, you got a nice pair of legs on you. Again, it keeps on going Irish, maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. A blue whirlwind pursues me. There's no way out. The fence is behind me. My flanks are cut off. I won't make it. You have a whole summon. Es ist groß, light mass. Es ist klein, heavy pressure. I react swiftly. My magic crest surges to life so I can weave a single count magecraft. The spell lightens mass and manipulates gravity. Light as a feather, my body bounds into the air. You know, you have a whole... I was about to say, you have a whole Archer summon that could be doing something for you. You just gotta command him to. Rin. I know, I got this. And I jump over the fence to plummet off the roof. Here's splat. Game ends. Story ends. Credits roll. Goodbye. Thanks knowing everybody. Air resistance to gravity push and pull along my body. It's about 15 meters to the ground. 1.7 seconds away. Too slow. He's going to catch up to me. Vox. God. Sight percept. S. Atlas. The funeral returns to the earth. Archer, handle the landing. Okay, we got some images that are actually kind of flashing by. Just landscapes, but still something. I'll let Archer absorb the shock of the landing and break into a dash as soon as we touch down. I couldn't stay on that rooftop. We need a less cramped arena from which to maneuver freely. A battlefield without obstacles where Archer and I can truly shine. Yeah, I bet Archer would also probably do better at, like, a distance. It takes me less than 7 seconds to escape from the roof to the schoolyard. A distance of over 100 meters crossed at a pace no normal person can manage, but less clearly see. And yet, there he is. Dude has got, I want to say this, like the most defined just shelf, right? Oh wait, you can't see my mouse, but I'm like circling his pecs over and over again. He's got that shelf on him. You really do have good legs. I almost feel bad about having to kill you here. I can't, what is with this accent I'm doing? Good day, mate. Down under. You really do have good legs. I almost feel bad about it, having to kill you and all. Against the servant, it's wasted effort. Archer! I'll get there. I'll either just decide to just go full-blown Scottish with him or what. At the same time I draw back, Archer materializes before me. It's a cloudy night. Archer's hand grips a short sword that faintly reflects the moonlight. Oh, I thought he would have a, bow, not a sword. The man's lips twist into an ominous sneer. Yeah? That's how this ought to be. Can't say I hate guys like you who are quick on the uptake. The whirlwind howls. It's the weapon he swung at me on the rooftop, a spear of blood like crimson that came mercilessly for my head. Lancer. Okay, so it is a class. That's me. That must make you... Or wait, I don't know what I'm doing. That's me. That must make you a servant of a saber. Apparently, now I can do the Australian accent. Australia. I don't know what's wrong with me. My voice. Nah, he doesn't feel like one. Who the heck are you? Gone is his carefree ease from a moment ago. Archer stays silent, facing off against Lancer's unconcealed bloodlust. Oh yeah, he couldn't see Archer to begin with. Or no, wait, could he? Yes, he could, because that's why we knew he was a summon. That, and he's, you know, dressed in armor and stuff, which you wouldn't see in the 2000s era Japan. There's just under 5 meters between them. Lancer's weapon is nearly 2 meters long. It doesn't feel like this beast of a man is going to be deterred by a mere 3-meter difference. I can tell you're not the type to settle things man to man. That makes you Archer. Archer doesn't take the bait. An unusual clash of blue and red stare each other down. The two knights, somewhat similarly dressed, mutually calculate the other's demise. Alright, all that's left is to throw down. Why do I keep on switching between Scottish and Australian accent? Alright, all that's left is to throw down. Draw your bow, Archer. I keep on doing it. Brain, please. Not how I usually do this, but I'm polite enough to wait that long. Stop! My brain. How do you do Australian accent? Australia. Scottish. I keep on doing like this. We go up high. Like this. Australia. We're down under. We keep our tones nice and mellow. You know what I mean. Right down here. We almost have that surfer dude type vibe, you know? Archer doesn't answer. His back, as steely as a sword, seems to convey that. He must not have anything to say, someone he must defeat. That's when I realize it. I'm such a fool. Archer was waiting for my word. Archer? I call out to him without getting any closer. Don't hold back. Show me everything you've got. Was that a laugh? The Red Knight surges forward, his lips curled in response. Wind swirls. He gets really angry. Oh! And then he goes Super Saiyan. A scarlet bullet flies forth, blade in hand. Ooh! I'm sorry. A blue sphere thrust intercepts him. If the charging Archer is a gust of wind, then the spear tip that rises to meet him is the divine storm. Oh, so it doesn't go so well for him, I would assume. Shrieking blades, elegant parries. Archer is put on the defensive, fending off the swift thrust with a short sword. Yeah, it's probably not the weapon he's most proficient in, I bet. Ugh. The man in red is stopped in his tracks. His advance denied by the enemy. He can't even breach the 2-meter coverage of the sphere. Almost like he should be using a bow from like 50 meters off. A polearm wielder can control his opponent's range. Lancer, with his nearly 2-meter reach, needs to simply engage his foe whenever he comes within range. It's easier for him to stab an advancing opponent than it is for him to go after Archer himself. Despite this, Lancer closes the distance himself to press the attack, all while keeping Archer from advancing further. I almost went Scottish again. Down here, down under, you're a dang fool of a bowman, trying to challenge me in close combat. No, it went Irish again! Or Scottish, I don't know the difference between these things. I need to go like watch a video on how to do an Australian accent. Because I wanted to make him Australian. Lancer's snarl is fiery. With each thrust, Lancer closes in, the assault never letting up for a second. Moving in too close is suicide for a spear wielder. The advantage of a spear is the ability to control the enemy's position. Lancer shouldn't have a chance if he keeps closing in. No way! But that's only according to conventional wisdom. Unerringly and unceasingly, Lancer's spear seeks to pierce Archer's throat, shoulder, forehead, heart. Basically any body part. The strikes are too swift to even leave an afterimage. Archer is forced to parry, block, or evade every move of the sphere. Any strike, if true, would be a mortal blow. Still, Archer is a servant. Even if he specializes with the bow, he won't be brought down so easily by mundane attacks. The the thrust at his forehead is quickly batted aside, and Archer renews his strength, and in spite of Lancer's spear. Down under, right down here. No, I keep on going high with it. Australia, Australian accent. We got the didgeridoos, didgeridoos. We're down under. We're in the outback. We're gonna do a shoey. One might think that swordplay is all there is to Archer's attacks, but he's exploiting a weakness of spear tactics. Maybe I am doing it right, maybe I'm not. Down under? Sorry. I know that wasn't him talking, I was just using that as practice. Against a spear's considerable reach, neither retreat nor evasion are viable defenses for long. A half-hearted withdrawal isn't enough to get out of range, while probing attacks will lead to evisceration. A reckless charge will similarly end in impalement at the edge of the spear's range. Archer and Lancer have more or less the same physical stature. Without heavy armor, it's difficult for Archer to penetrate the lethal storm of Lancer's attack radius. But Lancer's strikes are a different story. The high-speed thrusts intended to pierce vital points are indeed terrifying. Why are we still fighting? We're obviously at a major disadvantage, why not back off? Try this again some other time. But each strike has a set trajectory and target. If one can predict these, then there are ways to avoid harm. But are there ways to attack and avoid the harm? Just as Archer is doing, one can block the strikes aimed at vital points, or just barely evade their arcs to create safe openings. Lancer probably underestimated him as a ranged specialist. The advantage of a long weapon is the generous range at which one can engage the opponent. By giving that up, Lancer has assured his... Okay. Alright. I don't get why they had the poses of them just standing there, looking hungry, staring off in the distance. Emotionless. The man in red stops in his tracks. I watch a nightmare unfold as if time has rewinded. Lancer's attacks becoming even faster than before. Yeah, almost like he was probably testing him. Archer's short sword is knocked aside as he twists to avoid being skewered. Lancer's spear doesn't allow retreat, or rather, his endless attacks are so fierce and sharp that even servants aren't doomed against them. We were the ones who underestimated our enemy, almost like we were warned not to do that by our summon earlier. That servant, not summon. I keep on calling them summons, they're servants. That servant that Lancer and his spear can't, I mean, we did summon him. Whatever. That servant that Lancer and his spear can't be described in mundane martial terms. Who could possibly survive such a relentless barrage? Archer beats a desperate retreat while parrying attack strikes, creating slightly more distance between the fighters. In that moment, Lancer steps into the gap and unleashes an even more ferocious attack. The storm of attacks is a little different from what he's already been doing, but their execution is truly godlike. May we please run away now? They've already clashed 10 times. No, it's actually several times more than that. The torrent of spear strikes increases again in intensity and number, threatening to take Archer's life 1,000 times over. It isn't even a change in speed, but in precision. So, like I said, he was just kind of toying with us. He was just testing us. I think I said that. That may have just all been in my head. At a steady pace, Lancer's spear comes down on Archer like a waterfall. How can Archer get inside his guard? Almost like if he could just retreat and use a bow. With such a short weapon, all he can do is defend against the spear. He has no way to close in on Lancer. In fact, he's being forced backwards. The steel vacuum stretches out. I should be backing Archer up, but the right words die in my throat. My magecraft isn't easy to aim precisely. I risk hitting Archer too if he can't get away far enough from the Lancer. Do you have magecraft that could like give your friend a buff? Or, you know, nerf the other guy? Meanwhile, Lancer's advantage will only deepen. And to be honest, I'm captivated by their duel. So this is a battle between servants. The Holy Grail War is a battle between familiars of the highest order, heroic spirits, beings that we mages can't begin to approach. Yet you approach them, Servants. Familiars divided among 7 classes and roles, serving 7 masters. Supreme. Is this really the time for exposition? Supreme Familiar is called forth by the Holy Grail itself. Familiar is really a misnomer for them. Familiars are supposed to be subservient minions who act on behalf of a mage. Normally, you'd imagine something like Puss in Boots, an elegant white bird, or a disobedient black dog, something like that. I found out through playing Persona 5 that Puss in Boots is like an actual legend. It makes sense since he's in Shrek and all of that is like fairy tales and fantasy and stuff of stories, but I just never like looked into the whole Puss in Boots thing. Anyway, those sorts of familiars are the type, or what? I can't read, guys. Oh my gosh, my brain. Those sorts of familiars are what a typical mage can manage to command. Familiars are just that, from the Latin for a menial servant. It's inconceivable that a mascot used for menial labor would be stronger than its master. Servants are a different story. They're quite literally the most powerful examples of humanity. Even the 5 magicians wouldn't be able to control them. Who are the 5 magicians? It's difficult to summon a servant, but not because servants are more powerful than mages. Servants are beings that surpass magecraft itself. Are you also gonna do exposition in the middle of like really tense scenes? It feels like to break away things a little much. To be clear, servants are heroes of the past. Myths, legends, fables, histories. We call the glorious superhumans from our traditions heroes, whether the tales are true or not. Immortalized by what humanity says about them, they cease to be merely human after death and ascend to something greater. People who work miracles, who save the multitudes, who accomplish great feats, are elevated to the status of heroes, either in life or death. Like I know, for example, like Alexander the Great and Gilgamesh and King Arthur, they were all a part of Fate Zero. So they're usually some kind of like historical or legendary figure that we elevate, as they're trying to say, but just trying to throw out some examples. They become a type of elemental we call heroic spirits, guardians of the human race. It doesn't matter whether they were historical people or characters from mythology. Heroes are created by the thoughts of the people. We imagine them as idols, we wish they were, and treat them as if they were real. Objective truth is irrelevant. Fame and faith are sufficient to give form to these legends. They're humanity's ultimate ideals and the greatest among us. So that's why, like, even the legends can exist in this form, is because it's not really about their historical accounts. It's about humanity's belief in them. What does that sound like to me? There's something that sounds like almost like Warhammer 40k orcs, that whatever they believe becomes true a little bit. That's what it means to be a hero and a heroic spirit. Naturally, it's impossible for a mere human to control something greater than human. What mages usually do is borrow a portion of their power and imitate their feats. Summoning a complete heroic spirit is simply impossible. Yet the Holy Grail makes it possible. It allows us to summon these spirits in the flesh and even bind them to our command. The sheer absurdity of it proves the Grail's omnipotence. That's how heroic spirits are summoned from across time, whether from the Age of Gods or as recent as a century ago. What's the Age of Gods? Are you saying like before humans were about? The 7 heroic spirits serve and protect their 7 masters, and each master sends their servants out to defeat enemy masters. It's a death match between heroes of every age and every land. Sorry, you take a sip of water. That's the story behind the ritual we call the Holy Grail War. Of course, there are limits to what the Grail can do. Even the Holy Grail can't indiscriminately summon mythic beings akin to elementals. Just as a form created by the people is required to materialize the 6th theoretical factor known as demons. A lot of big words. Slow down. Simple Unga Boonga Man, please slow down for me. Just as a form created, I'm going to read through this again. Just as a form created by the people is required to materialize, the sixth theoretical factor. Oh, okay. Demons. Great. Heroic spirits. Dude, stop yawning. I'm not even tired. I don't know why I'm yawning. Heroic spirits need a material form to operate in this world. This is their temporary label, and the way they're allowed to exist in this world. The Holy Grail provides vessels that heroic spirits can easily materialize in, called classes, and only heroic spirits that fit these classes can be summoned. So are there heroic spirits that fit 0 classes? A class is like a passport and lets a heroic spirit visit the modern era to act as a familiar. It's a material vessel that they temporarily possess. There are 7 masters and 7 heroic spirits to serve them. Each is assigned one of 7 classes. I've been over this. I mean, okay, you're doing a more deep dive breakdown, but like some of these things we've been over. Saber, the Knight of the Sword. Okay, that's the one we wanted. Lancer, the Knight of the Spear, the one we're fighting. Our Australian friend from down under. I'm gonna stop with the. I'm probably ticking off all Australians. Archer, the Knight of the Bow, who we have. And then people we've now not met or heard of. Rider, the Cavalier. Caster, the Mage. Assassin, the Silent Killer. Berserker, the Mad Warrior. What, is that a wolf? Got some really long legs, but... Or, that's a goat. Like, almost satanic-like. Only heroic spirits with attributes corresponding to the 7 classes can be summoned to the modern world, and they become servants, whom the masters command. That's the servant system. Humans summon and make contracts with heroic spirits beyond our ability to handle, all in hopes of winning a miracle beyond our ken. It's the greatest of battles that can only happen here in this land, like no other Holy Grail War. Like none other, not no other. Ding, 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 ding. That was supposed to sound like the metal clashing off of each other. I just made a bell noise. The duel reaches an even higher pitch. The short sword goes flying from Archer's hand after blocking one of Lancer's strikes. And then we will find out how this battle concludes, hopefully, on the next episode. Alright. Or the next part, whatever you want to call it. Alright. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.